Shalom, brothers and sisters. So this year, which happens rarely, it's not an unheard of thing, but it does happen from time to time, Hanukkah actually falls over the same period as Christmas, which is really interesting. And now what I want to do is delve into Hanukkah, not in depth, in detail that you get overwhelmed with information, but the important things you need to know. So firstly, what does Hanukkah mean? Hanukkah means dedication in Hebrew, as in dedicating the temple. Hanukkah begins with the lighting of the first candle on the menorah. Menorah is that candelabra candle stand that you see. One candle is lit each night until all the candles are lit on the 8th night. Now, a menorah is lit in every household and placed in a doorway or a window. Now, the interesting thing about this, before I carry on, is God instructs the Jews to be a light to the nations. Through them, all the nations will be blessed. We, as saved and born again, are supposed to be a light to the nations. We are supposed to be shining in the darkness. And hence, when they put the menorah in a doorway and a window, it's so that it's not hidden. The light is not gone. It's not kept for just that household. It is shared with the world outside there, which is a beautiful connection to us spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ with all those in a dark and dreary world. The candle lighting is accompanied by readings from Psalms 113 to 118 and then Numbers 7, according to Life in Messiah. So let's quickly look at Psalm 113 to 118 and what they're about, the titles. Psalm 113, the majesty of God. 114, the power of God and his deliverance of Israel. 115, the futility of idols and the trustworthiness of God. Psalm 116, thanksgiving for deliverance from death. Psalm 117, let all peoples praise the Lord. Psalm 118, praise to God for his everlasting mercy. So how beautiful is that to be read over the period of Hanukkah? The 9th candle on the menorah is known as the shamash. Now the shamash is the helper. It's used to light the other candles. So you would take the shamash each day and light the next candle. That is what the shamash is, the helper. And in the same way, when you receive Jesus Christ in your life, you, that shamash, you've got the helper, the companion that is with us now. We are supposed to be lighting the world, sharing this joy and this great revelation, the gospel of peace with everybody around us, so that their candles may be lit in the darkness. So what does Hanukkah come from? It occurred less than 200 years before the life of Yeshua, when he came down and walked amongst us, between the time of Malachi and John the Baptist. This 400-year season in traditional biblical history between Malachi and John the Baptist, they refer to as the silent years, because nothing major happened between the prophets and God. But we know God is not silent, and he's always working. He's always busy behind the scenes. Now, Hanukkah commemorates the Maccabean revolt against the Syrian Greek army. According to biblical text, Mattathias the Hasmonean started the revolt by refusing to worship the Greek gods. Hanukkah in particular celebrates Judah Maccabees' victory over the Seleucids. Rabbinic tradition states that the victorious Maccabees could only find an amount of oil to keep the commemorative menorah lit for one night. However, the menorah miraculously stayed lit for 8 nights. So it was a miracle. Even though there was only enough oil for one night, that oil was sustained for the full time of that feast of dedication. Now, the interesting thing is, if you go to John chapter 10, verse 22 to 24, it says, at that time, the feast of the dedication took place in Jerusalem, Hanukkah. It was winter, and Jesus was walking in the temple area in the portico of Solomon. The Jews then surrounded him and began saying to him, how long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Christ, tell us plainly. Verse 30, and then he stated, I and the Father are one. So a very epic and important thing that happened in the event of the ministry of Jesus Christ happened on Hanukkah, where he really incensed and inflamed them in anger at his statements when they were asking him, are you the Messiah? I mean, how many more things must he do and show that he is the promised one? They that had the knowledge, that couldn't even calculate the years until Messiah would come and be cut off, they couldn't even do that little bit of maths, but yet they're still confused about whether he is or isn't the Messiah. And here he tells them plainly, I and the Father are one. And this happened around Hanukkah. So I hope that gives you a basic understanding of Hanukkah that's taking place over the same period. And I'd encourage you, if you can, celebrate it, learn more about it, dig deep into it, go read up on it. It's encouraging. See Jesus in it. See the fact of the helper lighting the other candles, just like Jesus brought the light and gave it to all of us. And God bless and have a fantastic day. Shalom.